advice on the best way west?
Yeah, go east. You've come this far, and you know what's out there.
Hi, I'm Jesus from Cartelera Spain, and it's really nice to meet you. I can't stop thinking about the show. It's really incredible.
Great.
Yeah, one of the best shows I've seen in years. So congratulations, because it was really tough.
Yeah. Yes, it was a hard show to make. It was a hard show to make because it's so big. It was a hard show to make because we cared so much. So every detail, every prop, every location, every bit of clothing, we obsessed over everything because we care. And I'm so glad that feels like it's coming through. I don't know how I made it through the whole thing. It was a solid year of shooting. And then after that, it's been 6 months of editing and mixing and visual effects, but we are still laser focused on making sure all the details are correct. It's just a part of our obsession with telling the story right.
As a fan of the games, I have to tell you that you've achieved the goal. And I wanted to ask you, since the show gets to expand a lot of stories, was it intentional to bring more light into this world with these expanded stories, and maybe give us more reasons to root for this world that the game didn't get to?
Yeah, I mean, so in the game, because there is gameplay, and the gameplay is almost exclusively about violence. One of the early discussions Neil and I had was how violence for this medium needed to feel very visceral, and it needed to be special. It couldn't just be noise, Violence on screen is to be taken seriously. So there is violence in the show, but it hits very hard. There's a lot of heartbreaking moments, and then there's all the humanity in between. And to me, humor and light is part of the beauty of The Last of Us, that in spite of it all, here's Ellie trying to make Joel laugh, and meeting people who are funny, even if they're not trying to be funny. We know there's something funny about it. If we stop being funny, it's all over. I think that when you look at tragic moments in human history, there are always people inside those tragic moments insisting on being funny. It's how we maintain our humanity.
There's also a lot of love. I can't begin to tell you how moved I was with episode 3. I wanted to ask you, since these games have had always strong reactions from certain parts of the gamer community, these reactions did affect in one way or another during the creation of the show, maybe push you to making certain stories or things like that?
No. Even though I am one of the community, I am a fan, I play video games, I have always played video games, but Neil and I were mostly motivated by telling this story as best we could. And every choice we made was about creating the best experience for the viewer watching it. It was never about making one group or another feel better, or signaling to anybody that they were right or wrong. All of the passion that people have, whether it's positive or negative, it all comes from their love. It begins with their love of the game. And that actually is part of the theme of it all, is that sometimes love is dangerous. Sometimes love is dark, and it's violent, and it can be hateful even, because love makes us scared. I think people that really love the game, they get scared about the idea of an adaptation, and it turns to fear. And then, as Yoda says, fear turns to hate. But I think because we just tried to make the best show we could, that whoever comes to it, whether they've played it or not, I think they will appreciate the experience.
Yeah, I think they will. I was also curious, did you make any changes because of our pandemic? For example, I don't know if the changing of the years was because of that or a different reason.
Well, we did create the very first scene of the series in its own way is our acknowledgement that the pandemic happened. We want people are smart now. We didn't really know much about pandemics before. Now we do. So we're all like amateur epidemiologists. And we wanted to acknowledge this and then say, there's actually something worse. and then really what happens is the background. It is the thing that motivates people to survive. And then the really interesting question is, how do you survive? And do you close yourself off? Do you open yourself up? What does it mean to trust somebody? And is love worth the pain? And in extraordinary circumstances, we begin to see who people really are. So that's how we used it, but we definitely acknowledge to the audience, we are aware a pandemic just happened here.
Oh, that's really cool. So I have tons of questions, but I'm out of time. So I just say, congratulations again. I can't wait to see the episodes that are left.
Oh, that's great.
So
thank you, Jesus.
Thanks so again for the show.
Anytime a fan like you is happy, I'm thrilled.
Thank you. So have a nice day, and it's really nice to meet you.
Thank you. Likewise, Jesus.
Darkness is falling, the sky has turned.